Hi, I'm Deeanne Gist with all the juicy details. Now, one of you asked about a chatelaine that the heroine in Fair Play wears, and you wanted to really know more about chatelaines and what they were and what they looked like. So before I show you one, let me give everybody else a point of reference, and I'll just read you one of the sentences that uses chatelaine. Unable to resist, Billy sat on a stool, released a button hook from her chatelaine, and began the laborious process of removing her boot. And basically, a chatelaine is a pin with some decorative chains hanging from it, and at the end of the chains are charms, and there's clips at the bottom of each chain, so you can take this charm off and put a different one on, so you're not having to rebuy your chatelaine every single time. And I'm going to go through and show you what the charms are on this particular chatelaine. This first one is a perfume bottle, because remember, these ballrooms were really packed. They used candles for light, which produced heat, and there was no air conditioning, and people didn't take baths back then the way we do. So everyone smelled. And so a woman would carry some perfume with her, and I don't know if you can see, but there are holes at the top of this perfume bottle, so she could just do this, and it would maybe alleviate some other unpleasant odors. Or if she felt like she was starting to smell, she could simply lift the lid, do this, and then put some perfume on her. And so this is a perfume bottle. You might have read in some books about a woman who has a dance card, and a man has to sign it if he wants to dance with her, and then she keeps up with who she's dancing. And you may wonder, where does she keep that dance card? Well, she keeps it right here. And this is a dance card, and it opens up, and it has some of the paper inside, and the man would basically, she had a pencil as well, and she would undo it, and then he would sign it, and then he would be on her dance card. And she would have several of these, and she would just go from one to the next, to the next, to the next. And I don't know if you can guess what this is. Bubbles. And the reason that this became so popular was because a prince, and I want to say he was Russian, but I'm not positive. I can't even remember his name. I just remember reading that he had one made for his princess, and it became all the rage, and everybody had to have one. So this is what a chatelaine looks like. And you could have all kinds of chatelaines. You could have sewing implements on the bottom of it. You could have a watch like this one. And then here's the watch key to wind it up with. Nurses had chatelaines. And here's a picture of one. Do you see the chatelaine that she's wearing? And see that it's actually a nurse's wallet. And here is a actual thermometer from a nurse's. This would hang, it's broken, but it would hang on this, and then at the end of this little piece right here, there would have been a thermometer in here, and then she would slide it in here and screw this in, and then the thermometer would hang from her chatelaine, and she'd have a thermometer. Here's another picture of a woman wearing a chatelaine. Do you see the woman in the red with her chatelaine down there? And so now, oh wait, I wanted to show you the button hook. Remember the button hook we read about? Here is one. Now this is a charm that isn't on. I could just unhook that, and you would hook this on, and it works like a Swiss Army knife. You pull this open, and there's your button hook. And you may be wondering, how does this help her with her buttons? And I'll show you. What you do is you take the hook, and you put it through your buttonhole, and then you hook onto the button, and then you pull the button through the hole. That's how it works. And then when you're all done, you would close this up, and it hangs from your chatelaine. And the reason they needed these was because their shoes were leather, and the buttons on the leather boots were leather, and they were really tiny, and so she would just go through and hook them and pull them through. You could never have done that with your fingers. So now you know all the juicy details. If you have a question for me, just leave it in the comment section below, and maybe I'll pick yours. Until then, you have a great, great week. Bye-bye.